Hey, joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show, we have got Mike from Afraid of Human. They are from Warren, Pennsylvania. They've got a self-titled record out right now that was released in April. Mike, welcome to the show.
How we doing?
Hey, we're doing great, man. And see, you're kind of up by near Erie, Pennsylvania, aren't you? It's probably cold up there tonight.
Oh, it's a little chilly. We've had a little bit of Mother Nature smacking us in the mouth here and there, but it's we're by the Great Lakes, so you'll have that.
Yeah, I had to look up. We're from Lancaster, PA. I had to look up where Warren was, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, you may as well be two states away because you are up there. So, welcome to warm Lancaster. So, hey, it looks like you've been a band for, I don't know, like about 5 years now. For listeners that may not know you yet, give me a brief history of the band.
Well, I'm actually the newest member of the band. I joined the band about 2 years ago. Brandon Culp, Dusty Huff, and John Grimm were together in a band a few years back. I believe they were called Room for Error, and they ended up folding. And they ended up meeting my very good friend, Mr. Jimmy Botto, who was on lead vocals for Afraid of Human. And they were, jamming as a four-piece for a while. And me and Jimmy have been friends for, over 20 years, but I wasn't living in the area at the time, and somehow me and Jimmy ended up back into a band together, and, we were in a cover band, but he also had Afraid of Human going on. And then they decided they wanted to add a lead guitar player, and then next thing you know, I'm being asked to audition for Afraid of Human, and I did, and here I am. So far it's been good.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. So tell us a little bit about the making of the record. As I mentioned, it's a self-titled record. Give us a little bit of the story behind the record, where it was recorded, who produced it, and how long it took, that kind of stuff.
The record was recorded in Warren, Pennsylvania from a producer named Anthony Brown. He's a very, very talented producer. He's got a really nice recording studio. A lot of the songs, as far as the first 5 on the album, were actually already written. Before I joined the band, there just wasn't any lead guitar parts yet, and that's mainly the reason why they wanted to add me into the mix, or add a guitar player in the mix to add some leads to this stuff. But when I heard the first 5 songs that were already recorded, it was literally impossible for me to say no, because I just loved everything that I was hearing and was inspired by it. And all the songs have meaning. There's a message behind every single one of them. So, it's a very heartfelt record. I guess it speaks from the heart, and it gets that in a nutshell. That's how it all came about. The other songs that were later written with me, a part of the band, we obviously wrote as a whole cohesive unit. It's I guess we just speak from the heart when it comes to our music, I guess is what I could say as a whole.
Well, that dovetails right into what I was going to ask you next. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I did read you are an Air Force veteran. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, yes. I served in the Air Force from 2000 to 2006. And I was an aircraft fuel systems journeyman on the B-1 bomber and the F-16 for 6 years.
So we want to first thank you for your service. We really appreciate that from you, and a happy recent Veterans Day to you, number one.
Thank you so much.
And then, so I don't know if it's related to your service or not. The tune I was going to ask you about was Repercussions of War. Does it have anything to do with your service, or is the tune about something else?
It has everything to do with being a veteran. The other veteran in the band is the other guitar player, Mr. Brandon Culp. He served in the Navy. And he actually pretty much wrote that song, him and Jimmy together. But the message that it sends, definitely transcends to any veterans out there. Anybody that served, can relate to what that song's talking about, I guess.
And likewise, I wanted to ask you about the tune My Everything. It seems that you guys put out a kind of special music video for that. So tell us about the decision to release that video and a little bit more about the tune My Everything.
My Everything, man, I wish Jimmy was here for this, because Jimmy wrote this song, and he actually wrote that about one of his friends that was one of his real good friends and former bandmates that ended up passing away. But he was also a veteran, and I know every time we play that song live at one of our shows, Jimmy always does a special tribute to his friend Travis Parker, who's I never had the pleasure of meeting, but I've heard some great stories about him, and it's a very heartfelt song regarding Jimmy's friend, and just thankful to be a part of it, I guess, as far as being able to add my 2 cents.
Yeah,
the music part of it.
We can let people know to go out and watch the video to My Everything. It'll speak a lot about what we're kind of talking about here. You'll get a lot more of the message behind it by watching the video, I think, as well. So who's the main lyric writer? Are you guys like a collaborative effort in writing lyrics? It sounds like it's kind of a shared duty with you guys almost.
Yeah, Jimmy, we'll be at practice, and we'll be going over rehearsal. One of us will come up with an idea, and then mixing, you see the wheels turning with Jimmy, and he's writing stuff down, and then out of nowhere he'll start singing a verse, and anything that he comes to light where hey Brandon, what do you think of this? Brandon usually chimes in, or one of us chimes in, and that's the great thing I love about playing music with these guys is we're a whole cohesive unit. We're not one of us, or I don't think we could. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's not just one person writing. We're all putting our 2 cents in.
Now, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, so being like the lead guitar, I've watched some bands write tunes before, and you had kind of mentioned the songs were written except for the lead. Is that kind of unusual? Is that a kind of a different way of writing a tune, is to kind of have to come in and lay that on top of it?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because when we were, I was actually jumping in with these guys. Like I said, the first 5 songs were already, for the most part, done, minus the leads, and I had some time to obviously work on some stuff and rehearse it with the guys, but didn't really have any idea what I really wanted to put down on the album. I made some notes here, had a general idea, but it really didn't come together for me until I was in the studio. Like once I was in the studio and had the headphones on, and it just became crunch time, and we took a couple different takes, and I'd look over at Brandon and like, what do you think, or was that what you're kind of looking for? And he's like, well, I had a different idea in mind, but never mind now. That's totally fine. I'm blown away now. But I don't know. I think it's kind of funny how stuff can happen, in the studio as far as being creative, and those first 5 songs are definitely like that for me, just because I can brainstorm all day long, but it was more feeling. I can remember sitting in the studio and just closing my eyes and just listening, what's going on, and trying to be as prepared as possible, but laying it down, and then with our producer and everything, he shot out some ideas here and there too. But it was, for the most part, I would say, it was prepared, but a lot of it was off the cuff too. So we're happy the way it came out, and we try to keep as creative as possible and constructive as possible as well.
So the year's winding down to an end. What does it look like after New Year's for you guys? Are you guys going to be doing some live shows? You taking some time off? Or what are you guys going to be doing after January 1st?
January 1st, we are going to be hitting it hard. We've already started writing our follow-up to this album. We literally just started, but we're planning on gigging super, super hard. We've already started booking for the new year. Hoping to get on some festivals, and just basically just one foot ahead of the other, and just drive through it like a bulldozer and try to make it the best year possible.
So if I was to ask you to reflect back on 2018 as a band, what would have been the high point of the band for 2018? Was it one particular show or one particular event that was maybe the highlight of 2018 for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. August 31st, we actually got called by a radio station out of Bradford, Pennsylvania, that plays us on the air regularly. It's an FM radio station. It's a rock station, but we've gotten to be pretty good friends with the folks at the radio station there. They've been very supportive of us, but they asked us if we were interested in doing it, being a part of a very high-profile event at the Zippo factory in Bradford, Pennsylvania, which I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but that's the main factory where Zippo lighters are made.
No.
And basically, long story short, we didn't know who it was going to be. We could simply just guess and I wonder if it's going to be this band or that band that we're going to be playing with. And then we ended up getting a phone call and got asked to do a show with Stone Sour.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty insane. The crazy part is, usually, okay, we're going to open for a band like this, or we're expecting to be an opener. We got actually asked to close the show, which was nerve-wracking in itself. But Stone Sour, I guess, just came back in the area from wherever they were touring from, and basically did a acoustic performance at the Zippo factory in Bradford. So we got to get the kind of the VIP treatment and meet those guys and hang out. Zippo treated us great. Definitely was one to check off the bucket list. Wow, I actually got to do that. So, and we all had a phenomenal day that day. We played our hearts out. Great crowd. Just unbelievable.
It sounds like an amazing day, man. So, hey, this has been Mike from Afraid of Human. They're out of Warren, Pennsylvania, where it's very cold right now, I'm sure. Their self-titled record is out right now. Keep an eye on Afraid of Human, because right after the new year, they're going to start working on new music. So, hey, Mike, man, I appreciate you taking the time with us on the Rock Show tonight. Everybody go out and check out Afraid of Human. Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, bud.